enlighten us regarding his knowledge of Morocco and how Morocco is part of the large geostrategic position, question of the country. Thank you, Mr. Simon Sefarti. Thank you. Pascal Lamy reminded me a few minutes ago when he said that the place where we are always in life. Oh.
I can assure you this. I'm especially pleased to be here, of course. I'm honored. Much of what I wanted to say has been said inevitably, but I would like nonetheless to skip my thoughts and share 3 additional ideas with you, which possibly have not been quite mentioned yet. The first of those ideas is the relationship between development and security. I think this is enormously important. The 20th century was known as a short century. It started late and badly in 1914 and then got worse, much worse, before things turned out to be better and ended in 1989, 1991, at a time when generally the world was better off than when the short century had started. Following a wasted transition in the 1990s, the 21st century promises to be a long century. It started very badly in 2001, and quite frankly, the past few years have not been, from the standpoint of security issues, as constructive as we had hoped they'd be. We don't know yet how it will turn out. We don't know. But we do know one thing. The 20th century was played out during the second decade in the 1910s. And so it will be for the 21st century in the 2010s. So that what we do over the next few years will very much condition what we become in the years ahead and in the decades ahead. And it is in this context, I believe, that we ought to place the development goals for 2015. It is essential that those goals be met and be pursued and be enhanced, because it is not just about D for development, it is about S for security. And the commitment ought to be made, and there's no such a thing as donors' fatigue, because there's no way out of the world we're in. My second observation will have to do with performance and results. Now, obviously, we all know that performance results are a matter of facts. And those facts have been put forward quite convincingly, I think, by the Moroccan government and by Le Commissaire and reports, and some of the results have been quoted by my colleagues on this panel. Facts are what they are. There may be some concern here and there over the accounting procedures that were followed, but the end results remain absolutely compelling, it seems to me. And Morocco has performed remarkably over the past 10 years. But there is more to results and performance than fact. There are also feelings. There are perceptions that define those results. And I, for one, see a dynamism in Moroccan society which has not really been there in the past. Cynicism is gone. There is a self-confidence in the future and intimacy with the future, I think, which to me really is the most convincing part of the perception that indeed Morocco is well poised to meet most of those goals on time and exceed some of them. And I want to emphasize, because maybe it is not sufficiently emphasized, the dynamism of the society at this time, based on specific legal initiatives, family plan, for example, in 2003, so much more. But also, I think, from the bottom up, the sense that Morocco has a blind date, if you will, with the future, and is going to show up in due time. And finally, my third thought would be simply that we need indeed to open up. His Majesty the King spoke of thinking about beyond 2015. We need to think about beyond the boundaries. I commend you, Mr. Commissaire, for the initiative you have taken about a tricontinental effort that would attempt to link together the two sides of the Atlantic, including the southern part of the Western Hemisphere and the Atlantic parts of Africa as well. This enormous Atlantic basin that is, I think, waiting for those initiatives that will put together countries that at this point in time maybe do not do as much with each other, all levels as they are at this time. So, conclusion, we're delighted to be here. Morocco promises to be, over the next 10 to 20 years, not only the emerging power, the emerging economy that it has already become, but it also promises to be a pole of influence within this new international environment that has come out of the very difficult first few years of the 21st century. Thank you.
Merci, mon cher Simon.
Thank you, Mr. Sarfati, for your